guys, welcome back. Just make myself comfortable. Right, this one is going to be how to locate carp, or how do you locate carp in the winter months. And it's a bit of a difficult one because it differs from venue to venue, but I'm going to give you a few pointers to go at that will hopefully help you, that will give you a little bit more scope, because it can be quite daunting. They're not boshing around like they are and enjoying life sort of late spring and throughout the summer months. They are very localised, and they can be extremely hard to sort of tie down and locate exactly where they're going to be. And let's face it, you know, the winter months are not the most comfortable, and a lot of people don't fish the winters because of that. And that's the only simple reason, is because it's so hard at times, and it can be, but the rewards are still to be there if you want to put the effort in. I still do my campaign fishing. I still do my 36, 48 hours. Of course, I don't fish when it's sort of, you know, deep snow, etc. But and -8s and 10s, what we've had quite recently. But I will still go out there and do it. So with the water that I'm on, when I first did my winter campaign, I didn't join the syndicate till late on anyway, so I only really had the winter months, and everybody told me it didn't fish throughout the winter, it sort of shut up shop. The only reason that is because there was lack of angling going on that venue at the time, and the carp shut down. Now, if people are still fishing it throughout the winter months, the bait's still going in, the fish know all about that, and they're a little bit easier to sort of tie down and locate where they are. But this venue was extremely hard, and I had to do it from scratch basically. So I went there, I walked the venue at different times of the day, obviously work allowing, to try and build up a little bit of a picture and start that jigsaw puzzle. So sort of starting from the edges and working your way in. So I went there, I walked the venue, I sort of kept my eye on the weather, air pressures, etc. But more importantly, what the sun phases were doing, because I don't fish a lot of deep venues these days. But when I did fish deep venues, by what I mean deep venues is sort of 20 to sort of 30, 40 foot deep, those venues give fantastic sport very early winter, sort of, you know, November, December, January. But come sort of February time, March, April, into sort of May, they weren't that great, because it takes a lot longer for the water temperature to rise again. So I was looking at venues with maximum depth of, say, 10 to 15 foot. So I'd end up looking at the shallower sort of areas of the lake. And I know that might sound a little bit daft, because we've all read it that fishing in the deeper water is better during the winter. Absolute load of rubbish. I've been to venues and I've caught carp out at 2-3 foot, you know, in the winter months, because that's where they want to be, especially if it's a feature like I have at my venue. We've got great big huge Norfolk reeds. There's little channels that the birds have made throughout the year. Maybe they've been nesting in there, etc. So there's little tiny channels in these Norfolk reeds. As I said, if you can climb trees, please be careful if you're doing it. But if you can climb a tree, you know, the world's your oyster. It opens up a whole new world, and the clarity of the water is a lot better. Believe you me, if they're there, you'll see them. So I was tending to target the shallower areas, especially when the sun starts to get higher in the sky. The water temperature is going to rise. I did take the water temperature in the swim that I was in. I believe it was sort of 4 or 5 degrees. But then I took water temperature around where the Norfolk reeds were, and I was quite shocked. It was sort of 6, 7 degrees. And you think, well, it's only a couple of degrees, what's that going to matter? Well, in percentage, that's sort of 20-25% more of an increase. And the carp will know all about that. The last of the the remnants of the food are going to be in those reeds, and the carp will know about that, and that's where they'll want to be. I was fishing 3 rods. I had one right in the Norfolk reeds, and I had 2 further, one a little bit, one close to him, but you know, another one a little bit further away. I don't like to fish all my eggs in one basket, but you can build up a pattern. 9 times out of 10, people say you fail. Well, you're not failing. What you're doing, you're building up a bigger picture to get at the end result. And when you get at that end result, what's built up to that is soon forgotten, because you've done all the hard work. You've been dedicated in what you're doing. You've believed in what you're doing, and it's beared fruit in the end. Excuse me. Do I bait up? The answer to that is, well, no, I don't tend to bait up throughout the winter months. I tend to fish for a bite at a time. If they're having bait, or if I have introduced bait, but what I mean is not whole boilies, but sort of crumbed, halved, etc., and they're eating it, and we've all seen it, they've been passing it out on the mat, or you know, in your cradle, you know that bait's working well and it's doing the fish good, because obviously it's been digested and it's coming through them. Then I will introduce bait. Other than that, then I only tend to, I'm going to show these now in the best Blue Peter tradition. This is my little magic bucket. Take those out. That's my fake maize. And that little bucket is full of PVA bags, and they're only the size of a walnut. They're not very big at all. But you know, there's, I mean, they're only what, 2 mil pellets, so there's a lot of food items in that little bag. And I always try to be prepared. I don't do them on the bank. Very often I tend to do them in the comfort of my home, with the television on and a nice cup of tea, or a nice glass of brandy. Also, do not take your eyes off the water. Go to bed as late as you possibly can, and get up as early as you can. Over the years, over my 30 plus years, a lot of venues, you'll hear them more at sort of night time, you know, sort of 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, and then you may hear something again sort of early hours. So I tend to go to bed as late as I can, and I'll get up as early as I can. And I know the going trend is watching Netflix on your tablet or watching DVDs in your bivvy, but you're not going to be successful by doing that, because you're missing out on, excuse me, so much information that's right in front of you. So weather permitting, you know, get outside, sit in your chair, sit on your bucket, nice cup of Bovril, cup of coffee, and just watch the water. It's a pleasure anyway, and that's the thing. Fishing should be a pleasure and not a chore. Most people don't fish throughout the winter because it's so cold, but there's no wrong weather, just wrong kit. As long as you're warm, plenty of hot drinks and hot food, then you're going to enjoy it. If you're cold, you're going to be miserable and you won't want to be there. Let's face it, you're not going to catch them sat at home. So that's my advice on trying to locate carp in the winter. Do not ignore the shallower areas. If the venue's an average, say maybe 10 feet, and you've got loads of features, especially Norfolk reeds, look at those. It's going to be so attractive to the carp anyway, and the carp know their environment better than we do. If you're fishing deeper venues, then obviously I'll be targeting sort of central areas of the lake, because they normally congregate, especially if there's no real features as such. So that's my sort of top tips. Don't go there mad with bait, because believe you me, they don't eat with gusto like they do in the summer. So fish for a bite at a time. Once you locate them, they're not hard to catch. So till next time, guys, be lucky. I wish you all the very best in the world. I hope your winter fishing goes great, and if there's anything else that I can answer, I'll gladly help. Until next time, guys, be lucky, and I'll see you soon.